If you're running a business, you know the feeling, right? You have an amazing product, but you spend so much of your time, so much of your energy just chasing potential customers. You're trying to turn this giant list of maybes into a handful of actual paying clients. Well, in this explainer, we're going to tear down that old grind and look at a totally different way to think about sales.
I mean, does this hit close to home? You pour your time, your money, your heart into sifting through this mountain of leads, all for that one single conversion. It is absolutely exhausting. It's got to make you think, man, there has to be a better way. Well, let's take a look at why this whole cycle is so frustrating.
Okay, let's dive right into what we call the lead generation grind. It's that traditional sales process, that all too familiar cycle that feels like you're running on a treadmill. You're putting in the work, but you're not really getting anywhere new. You know, we're all kind of taught the same path. Step 1, get a lead. Step 2, get on the phone and convince them you're the right choice. If you actually manage that, you move on to negotiating terms. And after all of that work, what are you left with? Basically, just praying the payment actually comes through. Every single step is just loaded with uncertainty. And this leads to all those daily headaches that just drain your soul, not to mention your bank account. It's dealing with the time wasters who just want a quote to shop around. It's the constant back and forth fighting over pricing. It's arguing about payment terms. And let's not forget all the money you're pouring into ads that just don't seem to bring in real customers. On top of all that, you've got the overhead of hiring and managing a sales team to do all this chasing for you. It's a lot.
So, what's the alternative? Well, it takes a totally different way of thinking. What if, instead of chasing down every single lead, you could plug into a system that brings customers who are already ready to buy directly to your doorstep?
The key here is something called a demand aggregation platform. Now, this isn't just another online marketplace where you list your stuff and hope for the best. No. This is an active model. The platform is out there doing the heavy lifting for you. It's finding the buyers, it's making sure they're serious, and this is the real game changer, it collects the payment before that order ever even gets to you.
When you put them side by side, the difference is just wow. A lead generator? It gives you a task. It gives you a lead you have to go chase. But a demand aggregator? It delivers a result, a confirmed order. Your entire role changes. You're not the convincer anymore. You're not the bill collector. The platform handles verifying the buyer and getting the payment up front.
All right, so that's the theory. But how does a concept like this actually work in the real world? Let's look at how a platform like Pneucons puts this demand aggregation model to work for a business just like yours.
The contrast here is really night and day. On one side, you've got the old grind we all know, chasing leads, fighting for payment, dealing with the headache of returns. But on the other side, with Pneucons, the whole script is flipped. You're not getting leads anymore. You're getting confirmed purchase orders. The payment is up front. And get this, there are no returns or cancellations. You're not even paying for inquiries that go nowhere.
Let's just let that sink in for a second. An order shows up in your system, and the money is already there. It's secured. This isn't just about making things easier. This completely transforms your cash flow. There's no risk. There's no chasing down invoices. The sale is literally done before you even start to fulfill the order.
Now, this policy right here, it tackles one of the biggest fears for any seller, getting stuck with rejected goods. With a firm, no return, no cancellation rule, the risk of losing money on an order that you've already shipped is just gone. Once an order is confirmed, it's final. That kind of certainty is invaluable.
So all of this leads to the real prize, the new bottom line. When you automate the sales grind and take all that risk off the table, what does your day-to-day actually start to look like? Where does your focus go?
Think about your to-do list for a second. Now imagine just erasing a huge chunk of it. The entire machine you've built to chase sales, all the follow-up emails, the awkward negotiations, the guesswork with ad spending, the overhead for a sales team, it all just becomes unnecessary. These aren't just little tasks, they are massive black holes for your time and your money, and they're just gone.
And that brings us to the ultimate benefit, the whole point of this. All of that time, all that energy, and all that capital that you used to burn on the sales grind, you can now reinvest it where it actually counts, into making your product better, into innovation, and into scaling your operations the right way.
So, I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. Seriously, picture your business, but without that constant nagging pressure and inefficiency of the old sales model. What new doors would open up for you? What could you build? What could you create? It's a pretty powerful thought.